Good morning. How you guys doing? Welcome to TED Talks, the season finale for 2021. I want to welcome everybody here. Thank you for taking time out of your day, whether it's on the replay or live, and stopping in and seeing what I am talking about and what I'm doing. I want to kind of do a recap of 2021 and what happened this year and what we got planned for the next year. I did find my razor and my soap, so I did shave a bit, but I do that every year. At the close of the year, usually I do it, and I'm actually gonna try to grow a full beard this year. So we'll see what that how that happens, but we'll just we'll progress and maybe we'll do some YouTube shorts on that and see how the beard is growing throughout the year. I've got a few things changing with TED Talks this year. I want to say good morning to everybody real quick, and hello, Carl and Donna. If you guys could like and share this out, thank you. I know you guys are always good about that, but that would be really helpful for me. Yeah, I want to talk about the sponsorships, everything else that's going to be changing the first of the year. Actually, one of them, a coffee sponsor. I've got a new coffee sponsor that's going to be coming on this January. But in my coffee cup right now, we still have Indian River Roasting Company, and we have espresso in there. So let's go through and let's do the rundown of all of our sponsors for the show this year. Be right back. Here at Ted Davies Artistry, we take coffee seriously. And so does our sponsor, Indian River Roasting Company. It's fair trade, organic, and they're artisans just like me. The only difference is I use watercolor and ink and they use coffee beans. And I enjoy it all through my day. So do yourself a favor, go to the description when you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Find Indian River Roasting Company's website. Use the promo code CAFFEINATED2021 and save 10% on your purchase. So right now, as of right now, in the description, IndianRiverRoastingCompany.com is in the description. Go there, use CAFFEINATED2021 because that will be the code for Indian River Roasting Company until I think the end of the year coming up here. So if you're still interested in getting any of their coffee, please do. They are an awesome company. We're taking TED Talks in another direction, as well as they are taking their company in another direction. All healthy, all very good. In fact, they're just changing the name on a few things. So we're still with the company. It's just a little bit different dynamic marketing. So, but in any case, check out what they're doing. We also want to talk about Cashman's Comics real quick in Bay City, Michigan. Let's see what John's doing there.
Every day I wake up feeling the same way now. Need to find something to believe. Every night the dreams we make, they're haunting my head now.
Yeah, check out everything that John's doing down in Bay City, Michigan. Check out his dog, too, Petey, who's down at the shop, protecting all of the comic books and that. They do sell all my wares, so please check out everything they're doing at cashmanscomics.com. And if you're in Bay City, stop in because they think it would be awesome. Pick up some of your Christmas gifts for all your nerds out there. So they do ship nationwide, so check out what they're doing on cashmanscomics.com and check it out. So we also want to not forget the Da Vinci of Resin, Damian Walbram. Hold on one second. Yeah, check out all the creation that Damien can do for you on any of your action figures or any of your miniatures or anything of that sort. He does just a fantastic job. Blah blah blah. Fantastic job. So check out what he's doing. Um, and also we got Comics Unlimited. This is actually the newest one. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's kind of bright here. Let me take this down a notch here. Give me one sec. You guys can see it a little bit better there. Yeah. This one talks about me, Comics Unlimited. Glenn was good enough to ask for me to talk about my story, about what happened with the development deal in California with the book Retrieve. Check out what Comics Unlimited has to offer, though. They've got a ton of stuff, just really good information Glenn's put together. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this at the end of the show. But it's on Amazon under Glenn B. Fleming. Check out what he's doing, and it's for sale right now. And get that, it's a great stocking stuffer. Check it out because it is awesome, and it talks about me in the book, which is fantastic. So, and a little bit about Damien too, some of the creations that he's done. So, let me bring this up here. I want to say good morning to everybody. Like I said, thank you for stopping in, guys. Yeah, if you could like and share this out. Hey, Eric, how you doing? Um, well, I wanted to, after a while, I'll tell you what happened on a personal note. When I was younger, I ended up, as you guys can tell, I hit my face on a marble table and I split my lip open really badly. And I've got a scar that still shows here, and that's it. It's still painful, even though I'm 50, but it still hurts. And I don't know if it's a psychological thing or what, but and as I grow my beard, it hurts. It sounds funny, but it actually hurts. So, um, and then when I was 16, I ended up getting hit by a car, which did some damage up here, and I've got scars and that kind of thing. Once you guys meet me in person, you guys are like, "Oh God," you know. But the way it's not really blotchy when I'm growing my beard out, but the scar tissue, it ends up hurting. So I have to be. It's kind of it's a nice thing to have to shave. I know it sounds funny, but that's me, and I'm crazy and I'm weird, and that's part of my experience. So, but that's it. Yeah. So, you know what? At least you get to see my dimples. That's what I tell my wife. So, dimples better than pimples, right? So, um, okay. So we've got a lot to go over this hour because I really wanted to go over what happened this year from the get. We had a lot of amazing things happen and a lot of frustrating things. And we're part of the industry right now. I think we're just at the infancy of what's going to happen for a lot of us in the next few years. Uh, it's been a real pleasure to witness the growth of all these different people and what's happening, and having hopefully some part in it. If I did, I'm so happy that I could. Like I said, it's my privilege to help people. A few things that are going to be changing with TED Talks next year is that because I've got my time right now with everything with From the Trenches of Hollywood podcast and with TED Talks and Truth Mongers and Drinking with the Davies and all these things that are happening right now. I've had to really in the cigar show and that we've had to like step back a bit and like recalibrate everything because there's just too much. I bit off a lot more than I could chew sometimes. Even with collaborators, it can be menacing. It can be very hard to schedule, and it could be overwhelming very easily. And eventually, my work doesn't. I don't have enough time in the week to get my work done. So, TED Talks is going to be changing up the dynamic a bit. I'm still going to be doing interviews. Don't get me wrong, but it's really going to go back to the roots of the creative journey of mine, because I really want to I really want to do my stuff. I mean, I don't mean to be a jerk about it, but I mean, I want to support people and I want to do things for other creatives, and I'm going to continue to do that. But don't be upset if it's 3 weeks of TED and then there's only one interview a month or something like that. There might be, there's a few dynamics there that are changing. And yeah, I was always snobby. That's not going to change. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm looking at it from a standpoint of a business strategy, a branding strategy of what I'm trying to do. Of course, I'm going to help people out and share their work out and everything else and promote them as much as I can and interview them. but a lot of the TED Talks is going to change. It's still going to be Tuesdays at 10 a.m., but I think that there might be a lot of recorded video. There might be more added to that, but the main show is going to be TED Talks on 10 a.m. on Tuesdays, like it normally is. Ted Davies Artistry branding, the company itself is going to be going a lot of different directions, as you guys know. And I don't know if there's in the future, I'm sure that there's going to be a media company and that type of umbrella that's probably going to fall under. But Ted Davies Artistry is still going to be my main brand, and the logo is going to stay in that. I am going to be working differently with sponsors. I think it takes, and I've been talking to a few people, it takes too much time with the commercials, and so I'm going to kind of streamline that a bit to hopefully to still benefit them, but also get more information in the hour time that I have, because there's so many there's just so much to do, and I only have a certain amount of time, and there's ways to do it. Looking at how many different videos that we've done the last 2 years, there is ways to do it so that it's more efficient and it's more entertaining for you, and there's more information. And I'll get to the comments in a minute, guys. Let me give you a rundown of last year, just on the YouTube, what we did. Carl and I ended up the last 2 years, we've ended up finishing out this year with 25 cigar videos, which is just, it's pretty remarkable. I never thought we'd get past 20, but TED Talks timepieces, which we did, which is going to be kind of then the umbrella under TED Talks coming up here. I did 26 videos since last year, and I mean, sadly, and sadly in some regards, but the review videos have just been, it's amazing. The number of people that have commented and complimented and watched my watch videos, it's been crazy, almost to the point where I've thought about maybe rethinking this whole artist thing. Not really, but very humbling in any case. The TED Talks, we've done 107 videos over the course of the last year and a half, 2 years, and that has been mainly a lot of it's interviews. And I've helped people through promote their books, whether it's on Kickstarter or just in general, and tell their stories, tell people, about who they are. 107, that's pretty awesome. And, that I'm pretty proud of that. We've got 34 videos over the last year or so for TED Draws. So all these different things that I've done, from tiki drawings to painting to whatever, 34 of them. Like I said, I'm pretty happy with that. Drinking with the Davies, which has been just a absolute pleasure with Chris, my wife here. 25 videos last year. Very good. And again, our numbers are huge on those. We've done very well on our videos with that. And I'm proud to say that she's really, kind of come out of her shell a bit. And she's just a blast to hang out with. I know you guys agree. She's so much fun. And just having that type of interaction, that type of show it's just a blast. The Truth Mongers, we did 16 shows, Glenn, if you can believe it or not. We're going to wait till March. We're going to kind of reevaluate everything and see where we're going with all that. I know that Truth Mongers will still be part of the Ted Davies Artistry canon, but we're going to definitely reevaluate where it's going to be placed in this whole dynamic. So, from the Trenches of Hollywood, of course, you guys know the new podcast that Craig Hall and I have on there. We've got 6 videos out since the beginning of December, and that's growing. We're actually really happy with the numbers that we're getting on that now too. So it's a great thing that you guys plug into what we're doing and all that, and watch everything that we're doing. But it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, I have to kind of evaluate and recalibrate everything and curate. I mean, I really have gotten to the point now where I've learned a lot about people. Not always good, with a lot of the people that I've come across over the course of the last couple years, or especially last year. Last year was quite a growth period for us, as far as Christine and I with the business. Ted Davies Artistry did very well last year. We did. It was record numbers last year. And I thank all of you that helped us do that. A lot of it was the Kickstarter. We didn't make any money on that. That was more just the, getting the books made and then shipped. That I don't consider that, that, and you don't do Kickstarters to make money. Some people do, but I don't think that's what it's about. It's about getting the funding to get the product out to the public. Um, and that, that's something that I've talked about other times on my show, so I won't bore anybody with that. Let me go over the comments real quick, and then I'm going to start with the year end, month to month of what we accomplished last year, what we all accomplished last year. Carl, good morning. Donna. Well, I mean, the barefaced, yeah, it's just that's it. That's what it is. How you doing, Damien? I'm just a guy that shaved. That's it. I found the soap. Good morning, Pops. How you doing? Eric, good morning. Let's see. Just want to get through these. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me for a second. Yeah, Damien, the Archimedes figure in this book is just awesome. The Glenn, I'll tell you what, Glenn really, you guys don't really. Glenn's a remarkable artist, but his layouts are just phenomenal. He does such a good job with all this whole book. It's just amazing. Comics Unlimited, but yeah, Damien, you're right. Carl, let me see. I'm not trying to turn into Brian here. It's just I want to make sure I cover if there's anything that's really funny that I missed, or let's see. I should probably read these at the beginning. Yeah. So in any case, thank you guys for making all the comments in that too. And like I said, if you could like and share this out, it would be helpful. Since it's the end of the year, I would really, really like to get as many numbers as I can on this video before we start the new stuff that we're going to be talking about this year. I try not to get political on this, and I know everybody's heard enough of this crap about everything, about politics and everything else. January last year, I think we were looking forward to some greatness, some really good things. COVID was still, through the roof, and everything, it was still crappy in that regard. Then January 6th happened, and, for whatever reason, however you feel about it, it was a shit show. And I'm glad to see that a lot of those people are being prosecuted now to the full extent. But again, that's Ted on pedestal. I'm not trying to make anybody pissed off or anything like that. I just that was a hell of a way to start the year out, and I'm very sorry that all the suffering that happened because of that event. But the redeeming factor in January last year for me was that we ended up being blessed with Calypso in our house. Calypso, the beautiful little black Chihuahua. I think she's a fox terrier mix, but she's a whatever she is. She's fantastic, and she came along when I really didn't think I wanted to have another little one, but it was it was awesome. It was awesome. She's been just an absolute staple on the videos and everything else, as you've seen. She's sleeping right now, or she'd be over here. I'd pick her up and have her on camera. So we had a lot of that. We were starting to figure out in February what was going to go on with. I knew I wanted to do a show with Christine with Drinking with the Davies, and she wasn't really sure about it. She didn't want to be in front of camera and all that, being her and that. But so February was kind of a growth. It was still winter here. It was, we were still dealing with an older dog too. Murphy was here too, and he was awesome with Calypso. He would let her, she would jump on him, no problem. He was just, he was a big shepherd mix, a Brendel shepherd, just an awesome dog. And then, March, we started in March. Drinking with the Davies we did a promo commercial, and it went viral. We had over 1,000 views right away on the promotional video, which was great. And then I said, I told you people wanted to see us, or see you. And I said that to Chris, and she's like, okay, I'll listen. All right. So we did that. And then unfortunately, it was actually on St. Patty's Day on the 17th, Murphy passed away. So, and that was a pretty tough day. Yeah, he was a good boy. a lot of weird things happened. With the COVID thing, I couldn't up here. We couldn't go into the vet or anything like that. Even if we could get there, they would actually um, put them to sleep and then bring the remains out to the car. And for whatever reason, I knew that he was having problems. I knew he was having his heart was failing, and he was 14. He's getting older there, and he was having a tough time of it. And I couldn't get the car started. I never have a problem getting my van started ever. And that morning, I couldn't get the car started to save. I mean, I couldn't do it. There's no way that that car was moving. Chris was at work at the time. I think she came home. But I couldn't get into the vet. The vet's about an hour away since we live in a rural area. And yeah, so he died here at the house, and I was really thankful for that. I didn't appreciate it until the next 2 days later. We had to take Calypso in to get her shots and that. And I went there. We, waited out in the cars because the nurses had to come out and, masked up everything. Everybody has masks on in the car, everything. And then I gave Calypso over so they could, uh, give her shots and that. And the thing about, you know, life is really funny. And this is one of the things about anybody who knows me knows I look for not signs necessarily, but I look for things that I try to make sense of things in my life, why things happened. And with Murphy, the gentleman that parked next to me at the vet had a pickup truck, and his dog, they came out with a gurney and got the dog. And this guy was the owner was just an absolute mess. He couldn't be consoled. He was just, and they had to wheel the dog into the vet and um, put him down. And then, they obviously there was I don't know if it was a, they brought the remains back out, but in a bag and like it's not to be morbid, but it was just to see what he had to go through and to see what people have to deal with now. I am so thankful that we didn't have to go through that. And I knew that I'm sure that there was a reason why uh, the van didn't start that day, and I'm glad that I didn't have to go through that. So my heart breaks for everybody that's having to deal with that right now. And if you're in a, your pets are in a transitional state right now and all that with, and you can't be with them when they are put down. My heart goes out to you. I know in Michigan, we are still at that stage. We can't even go in to the vets. We'd have to let them. It's kind of like a drive up vet now with the dogs and everything still. But in any case, not to get too down on it, I'm sorry, guys. I just to give you a scope of what happened last year. Um, it'll get better, I promise. Throughout the list here. So April. So after Murphy moved on, um, we got through that. April though was awesome. April ended up. I started to get all of Grimm 101 book one set up. I get everything ready to go for the Kickstarter, my first Kickstarter. And with the help of Lisa Malone, that was a success. I turned 50 in April, on April 23rd. And that was, and I celebrated my 20-year wedding anniversary with Christine in the month of April. Awesome. So there was definitely some amazing things that happened in April. The Grimm book was launched and very successfully got funded, thanks to all of you, because I know it couldn't have been done without you guys. And it was remarkable. I didn't think that we would have made as a hit with it as we did. So thank you guys so much. And then May came. May was really, really, actually really good in a lot of respects because we had Pulp Reality 2 came out, and I did the artwork for Amy Hale's story in there, and that was cool. So I'm trying to look at, and every time that I look at my months or weeks, even I try to look for highlights, and there's always got to be some type of highlight. I try to find something, even if it was a good dinner or it was um yeah, whatever. You got to look for something, right? So I think that it's a very important thing that you need to do that. In June happened, and the Truth Mongers came about, which that was awesome. So I think that Truth Mongers was a very good success too. I think I want to thank Glenn for that, and everybody else that has been watching that show. It was a lot of fun because there's not many. There's conspiracy shows out there on History Channel and everything else, but they're not. It's not usually two guys gabbing about whether a UFO is real or not. And then you have a live audience that actually talks back and or shares their experiences with you. I mean, it's just a great thing. I'm looking forward to doing more with that this year. Um, July, we kind of took it easy, I think. I mean, we did a lot of broadcasting and that kind of thing. We had a lot going on in July. We had, the the weather was getting better. People were feeling better because they had their vaccinations. The first time I saw people actually hug each other outside at the market when we were, and I couldn't believe it because it hadn't happened like that. People were always like standing off, and it was really weird. So July was actually, it was weird too, not wearing a mask outside here in Michigan in July. I remember that vividly. It's not that way now. But August, Archimedes action figures came about. So Damien, thank you very much. And the Kickstarter for book for Grimm 101 Book 2 got fulfilled completely, and that was awesome. And that was a good feeling getting all the fulfillment done and getting that shipped out. September, we went to California. We've been planning the trip for about a year. Craig Hall was just a fantastic host. And Christine and I made the venture after we got vaxxed, and we were ready to go, flying a metal tube for 4 hours with our masks on with strangers that we didn't know during a pandemic. That was a lightning experience, let me tell you. But I'm glad I did it because it forced me to do it. I think that a lot of this fear stuff, especially in my anxiety mindset, I know there's a lot of people like me. You make more of it than what it should be. I'm not saying you can't be careful. You should be careful. Absolutely take every precaution. I don't mean that. But I needed to do this. I needed to go to California. We needed to meet with the people to get the development deal put into place, and that was huge. That was life changing, and it was a trip that I'll always remember and I'll be grateful for. Um, and that was a highlight, one of the highlights of the year, absolutely. But California trip was you can read all about it, Comics Unlimited. So just saying. All right, October, Grimm 101 Book 2 Kickstarter came out. So we got that rolling. Very much a success again. Thank you all for doing that. We're currently working on it. As you guys know, I'm working. I think the surveys got sent out yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think Lisa sent everything out yesterday. So that hopefully you guys got it and they were returned. I'll check them out over the course of the holiday. Hopefully you guys are doing well with, waiting. Thank you for waiting for that. They'll be out in February. The only, I don't know. I'm going to check to see if there's any type of paper shortage deal. That would be my only concern for the February fulfillment, but we'll make sure that it is fulfilled in February as best to my possibility with everything else that's going on in the world. So November, the Kickstarter was successfully funded. So thank you again for doing everything you guys did. And, I know that the money is especially during the holidays, never easy. So thank you for, investing in us and believing in it. And thank you for investing in the miniatures. I'm really excited about that. There's going to be some really great things happening with the miniatures. And I'm, as you saw last week, I'm already getting things ready to go on that. So we're sanding, we're getting things prepped and priming. Then December, we had From the Trenches to Hollywood start. Very cool. We're Craig and I are really excited about that. If you're a writer or you're an inspiring writer, or if you a writer that is already established, I mean, still listen to what we're doing because there's some really good. We got some great interviews. We've had David Putnam. He's a award-winning or a best-selling author, crime novelist. We just had Rolf Linsky, and he's actually interesting. We didn't tell you his lineage. His father actually did the Toxic Avenger, and I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but Yeah, so Ralph he's very much a well-established director screenwriter, and you guys need to check out what he talked about. And these aren't very long episodes. That's one thing Craig and I wanted. We wanted it so that if you're in your car, you could listen to the podcast, which we also have on Spotify or Anchor or Apple. But then you can also check out YouTube too if you're home or whatever. So, but it's a lot of fun. We really enjoy it, and you're hearing different aspects of writing from other walks of life, not just us, not just some people from the Midwest or from wherever that were self-publishing. These guys they're a lot of them they're hustlers. They're the best self-publishers known because they're getting their work out in movies and in TV and that we all take in anyway. And it proves to me, as well as everybody here, it should anyway, that it's completely tangible. You guys can do this. You guys can come up with an idea. You just have to make sure that all the boxes are checked. Make sure that you know how to write a screenplay. You know how to present it to people. And that's what Craig and I are preaching about. We want to make sure that you guys look at it from a standpoint that, you know what, you can do this. It's just the steps and how to do it. And that's hopefully what we're doing to help you. Um, so, the highlight for 2021 obviously was the development deal for Retrieve. We've got some huge things happening, huge news coming up in 2022 with that. But right now, everything's being fine tuning everything, and the script, episodic scripts, and everything else are being written right now, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And I don't know the first thing about script writing. I'm not going to lie about it. I do know about comic book writing. I know about novel writing, but as far as script writing, that's Craig. And collaboration is probably one of the biggest things I learned last year. With all the comic book covers I did for people, with all the for their different campaigns or whatever, all the different artwork that I did, collaborating with other creators, and then also working with Craig and really learning his art, what he does. Um, it is an awesome thing. It's an awesome thing. So last year was a huge growth for us business wise, but also, learning. I mean, it was an amazing thing, amazing experience. And I'm so thankful that it happened, but also I could share it with you. A lot of these things are, they don't talk about it, or it's a, you know, secret thing that not many people are let in on. That's not what this is about. That's not what TED Talks is about. I wanted to bring it so that the journey is part of what you guys can learn from. And, it's no good if you can't share it, and that's the way I always stand about it. I mean, I think one of the hardest things this year or last year was obviously Murphy passing away, but that happens, that's part of, you know, that's part of having animals. And I think that's why my parents never really wanted me to have one because I get too attached to them. But they're like your kids, And I mean, everybody that's had animals like that, you understand what I'm saying. Um, one of the, I think one of the best things that I did last year for everybody else, besides interviewing you and doing all this other, trying to do things and promote other people, was getting vaxxed. I mean, I ended up, I took the jab and I'm not gonna lie, it kicked my butt. But I felt better about it. I felt like I was trying to help something. I was being more proactive than I was reactive to a lot of things. Um, and I'm not, it's not a political thing. It's just, that's me. I just want to make sure that you guys know that, if I post something about getting boosted or vaxxed or whatever, it's to help the other people. It's not about me. It's not about, oh, look what I did. I'm Mr. You know, I'm Mr. Awesome because I just did this. I am Mr. Awesome, but not because I did that. It's the right thing to do for me and for everybody else. So that's why I did it. So enough about the political stuff. It's not even political. I believe in science. So, okay. Now, if you haven't left after that statement, 2022. Okay, what are we doing in 2022? All right, so Ted Davies, I'm reading this because I wrote it yesterday. Bear with me. Ted Davies' Artistry is going to be kind of switching over to it's a creative journey. What my creative journey is. Obviously, I'm still going to be doing interviews in that. But it's going to be based on, you know, I have a lot of principles. I have things that I really, to my core, believe in. That makes me who I am. And I'm not saying that this won't turn into a political or I'm not religious statement or anything or any type of channel like that. Um, but I might not say it, but I might just be silent about it and just work my way away from certain things or certain people that I don't necessarily jive with. I'm not going to be one of these guys that are, beat my chest and blah, you suck or whatever else. That's not the way I do things. I get frustrated. I'm sure as all you guys get frustrated with a lot of things. So, and a lot of people. But I want to make sure that I'm being honest with you that I'm going to be stepping back a little bit on certain things that I've been doing with TED Talks because I want to make sure that I'm being fair to myself too. I've got a lot of demands on my time now, more than I thought I was going to. And what a first world problem to have. I don't mean that in a bad way at all, but I have to be sensible. So a lot of my book development, a lot of my artwork, a lot of the way I do things, publishing wise, will be part of TED Talks. My watches, all these things are going to be part of TED Talks. So you might have a week that you're going to be learning about something different. You might be learning about a Casio watch, who knows? But TED Talks is going to be kind of the streamline. And it won't necessarily be TED Talks timepieces or TED Talks interviews, or it'll just be TED Talks. So hopefully you guys appreciate that, and hopefully it's a little bit more streamlined. I will be doing reviews on many things, whether it's products. I have a stack of independent comic books that I am going to go through, and we are going to be doing videos of. I might be doing them live. I'm not sure yet, or they might be pre-recorded, but I'm going to be going through them. So rest assured, you guys are gonna you guys are gonna have truthful reviews, whether it's prose books or comic books, you name it. But I'm going to have them, and I'm going to start doing them uh, next year. So we've got a lot of things that TED Talks in the review pattern. It's really going to be good, and it's going to be constructive, and it's going to be, and that actually turns into an interview in itself, because I probably will end up promoting a lot of the creators of these books. Hence, I might not even have to do an interview because I've already done an interview with them last year. But we'll see how it goes. If they need to, if they got new product coming out, or if I warrant that they got something to say new, I want to bring them on absolutely. So to help the populace, so to speak. So we'll figure that out. So reviews, interviews, my art and my writings, my books, my creations are going to be forefront on TED Talks. I know it's arrogant, but that's what's going on. Okay. So 2022, I'm going to be finishing up the Grimm 101 book series. So we'll have 4 books in that series. It'll be done by the end of this year, or excuse me, end of 2022, completely. I'm sure it won't even be that long. It'll probably be, there's 2 more event Kickstarters are what we're going to be doing for book 3 and 4. That won't be until March or April next year, and then the following few months after that. So, and then the Retrieve comic book series, the 3 through 5 will be all set and done by December next year. Everything. I've got a few things that I'm going to be doing differently. We've kind of correlated it a little bit differently with the way that the script is being written at the same time, and that's why it's been taking so long with it. But it'll be awesome, and I'm looking forward to getting that completed, and then on to the next series, the continuation of the Retrieve book, and we'll talk about that later in the year next year. And then we'll also have the portion of the movie development deal completed. The development deal. Movie is kind of a loose term now because there's live streaming. There's all kinds of facets right now to development on IPs and options for development. And there's all kinds of things, ways it can go, whether it's film or movies, big movies, or whether it's on Netflix. But the development deal will be completed. Whatever portion we need to get completed will be completed, so that we're on our way into full development with that. So, I mean, next year, we've got TED Talks, we got Drinking with the Davies, we've got From the Trench to Hollywood, and the big thing about next year too, though, is, and this is the drum roll, is Glenn and I actually, I'm partnering with Glenn on Comics Unlimited. We're going to be actually, I'm going to be working with Glenn as a co-publisher on the book. So there's going to be a lot of things I think that I'm going to be learning on Comics Unlimited, and I think that Glenn, we kind of he brought up the idea of it because there's so many different things that it's different in the UK market as well as in the American market, of what this book's all about. And I think that if we have both sides of the pond on this book, I think it's going to be an amazing thing. There's going to be a lot of different, and we're going to talk about that. We decided to launch a podcast in the time frame that I used to have TED Talks on Thursdays at 10 a.m. We're actually just going to do a Comics Unlimited podcast, just about an hour, half hour every week, and just go over what we think's happening in the industry, whether it's indie or whatever. And good stuff. It's going to be real positive, very common ground discussions about comics. It's not going to be something that's political or structured in a negative format towards another group or anything like that. That's not what we're about. And that's we're not going to have it. I mean, that's just the way it is. Glenn and I, Glenn has built this product from the ground up, and the last thing I want to do is deter it. I want to make sure that it is the best it can be. I would love to have indie creators noticed in the book, because I think that it's a great format. I know that a few of us have been lucky enough to be presented in the book, so thank you, Glenn. There's going to be advertising campaigns or if you guys are interested, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in the coming year. Well, actually, January. It'll be a quarterly. It's going to be out quarterly. I think Glenn and I talked about that. If there's anything else, Glenn, jump in if I'm missing something. It'll be a quarterly publication, so it'll be out, the first, the 4 quarters of the year. So, and in that, I think that we're still going to be doing it through Amazon, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be easy for you guys to pick up a copy. It'll be affordable. It'll be, I think it's going to be a well-rounded book, because it's going to give, like I said, different perspectives on the UK market as well as the US market. Not even market, just the comics. We're just going to talk comics, and it's going to be old stuff. It's going to be somewhat new stuff, I think. There's going to be a little bit about indie creators in there, I think, too. But I think that the advertisement's key. I think that there's a lot of people that can advertise in this affordably, whether you're a novelist or whether you're comics or whatever, or that you do printing, publishing, whatever. There's all different kinds of things that you can do with our advertisements in that type of book. And then I think that they're also going to be offered digitally too. And you'll hit a huge market, a worldwide market in print form too, which is pretty cool. I think it's always good to have a book that's got a print for advertising. I always love that. So, yeah, that's okay. So some of the things quarterly, and then hopefully it'll go back to bi-monthly. And I think that that's eventually that I think will happen. We really have to figure out the deal on how we're going to do it. Just I know, because we're both so busy getting the books out and stuff. And as the year goes on, and I'm going to be traveling a lot more. I've got a lot of shows I'm going to be doing this year. We're going to have to figure out the scheduling, the broadcasting. I'd have to do some stuff live, on site versus here in the studio. And in that too, that we have to figure out the layout of how the stories are going to be done in Comics Unlimited and all that. But that'll be fun. That'll be a good thing. I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. And then Glenn also has other ideas on magazines. He wants, that would be a huge undertaking, but I think you could totally do that. Totally do that. But hopefully you guys can look at it and start making it part of your library, because I think it's an important book that I don't think should be pushed aside. I think that probably I wouldn't have invested time in it and the money in it or anything else, or the means in it, to make sure that it's still a viable production. Because I know that it gets overwhelming, and I know Glenn can tell you, I'm sure it's very overwhelming for him. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint that we can build something that'll be really, really good for the community, as well as as well as a product that people enjoy and that you can be proud to be in, possibly, if you're a creator. So whether it's advertising or an article that we write about you. So, but yeah, that was pretty much it on the recap of the year. And that I know that we've got I got so much going on next year. I've got my schedule. Literally, I've got my calendar in the mail 2 days ago, and thankfully, I'm every month has got something in it for business, whether it's a Comic Con, and right now that those might be pushed aside here in Michigan. I don't know. There's a lot of things happening right now. I don't think we're going to be in another lockdown, but it's not health wise. There's a lot of people that are really sick, so I don't know, but we'll see how it goes. I just want to make sure everybody's healthy. You guys are doing everything you can to stay healthy and make everybody else around you healthy too. So, um, yeah, what else you got, guys? Give me other questions or anything else. Let me know. Um, After today, I am not going to be back on air. I might be doing like little upload shorts for YouTube and that for things that we're doing during the holiday, but I'm not going to be back to TED Talks until January 4th. And then the first podcast for Comics Unlimited, kind of our launching platform day, is going to be January 6th, actually. So we figured that would bring back, try to bring some positivity to that date this year. So I'm just reading if there's anything else. No. Okay. I don't really have any. I mean, there might be a comment dump in a minute, but um, one of the plans I do have too is that I know that I want to do some of the TED Talks or some of the other things live at some of the events, or I might do them, tape them and then just put them out as I go during the day, so you guys can see what I do when I'm at shows. Because a lot of the people ask me, what do you do? I mean, well, it's kind of it's crazy because there's usually, of course, Christine handles all the money, but I'm usually drawing, honestly. Chris handles all the PR stuff as far as the books and everything else. She's really good at that. So, but I usually handle all the commissions. I've got a lot of commissions when I'm thankfully at a lot of shows. From the very high end, I usually don't do high end ones there, but then I'll usually have uh, $5 or $10 small postcard sketches that I do for a lot of people want those, which is great. That actually fills up my day. You would be shocked at how many people will actually come in and they'll hand Christina the money, and then I'm doing sketch cards for gifts for people throughout the year for their birthdays or whatever, which is great. I love it. I absolutely love it. Um, but that's yeah. Listen, we're gonna try to grow it out this year. I'm not gonna probably do the goatee thing anymore. I don't know. I'll have to see. A lot of the thing too, though, when you've got a beard and you've got scars, it takes a while for that to fill in. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But um, maybe I'll keep the baby face. I know the kids are. My daughter's gonna tease me when she sees me at Christmas because I don't think she's seen me without some type of facial hair in years. I was concerned about Calypso because I don't think she's ever seen me without facial hair. But she's like, you smell the same, I guess. So no problem. But lucky her. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, something to be said about a beard right now. I didn't realize how cold it was outside until I went out there this morning without a beard on. Or somewhat of a beard. It's cold. It is cold. So, but I hope you guys are with me this year, and I hope that we can build some greatness here. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the road too. It's the first time that I'm going to meet a lot of you, which is in physical form. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being able to. I just hope everybody's healthy. That's the main thing. I just want to get through this. I know we're going to probably have to live with it for the rest of our days, but hopefully we get to a point where it's manageable and it's something that we can get through. But I'm looking forward to getting out on the road and actually seeing people, and just trying to get back to, I don't even call it normal anymore. Just get back to creating again and meeting the group again, meet people and do things to where we're being productive, and we're not being reactive all the time. Yeah, there's so much to be learned here, and I'm glad that we've got these tools that we can utilize. And I mean, God, it's been so amazing to really, really get to learn all about you guys and see you and interact with you, and having even never met. It's crazy. It's a head trip. It's a head trip. But you guys are always welcome on TED Talks. I look forward to seeing you guys next year. And I will probably, like I said, post a couple things during the course of the holiday season. We'll have to see, because I'm going to get working on those miniatures and a few other things. And TED Talks is going to get more into that too. I really want to get into some of my hobbies. Miniatures is one, painting miniatures, gaming, more about, like I said, more about watches, that kind of stuff. It'll be a lot of fun though. I'm looking forward to it. And I'll be bringing people in too, like Damien and Glenn, Carl. We'll be bringing in people during the course of these, if you want to call them, TED Talk events or whatever. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, that's it. Thanks, guys, for stopping in. And we will see you next year. Please have a safe holiday. Be healthy. If you feel like you want to do something good for somebody next door and you can do it, your doctor says it's okay, get the jab, get vaxxed, and be healthier for it. So, and make sure that you guys are, just doing good things for other people, because it does help. Makes the world a lot smaller and a lot better. And I really mean this. No envy, no fear. You guys have been great, and sky's the limit. Let's do some great things this next year. And everybody have a great holiday. We will talk to you soon. Thanks.